Kyiv has finally officially acknowledged that Ukrainian Marines have established a bridgehead on the left bank of the Dnipro River, occupied by the Russian army. On Sunday, the Ukrainian army said it had pushed Russian soldiers back 3 to 8 kilometers from the banks of the river. This would mark the first meaningful advance by Ukraine's forces in months, after a counteroffensive was launched last year. Today, we'll look at the significance of this development. I'm Anya Korzun, a journalist at Kyiv Post. Subscribe to our channel for regular updates, exclusive interviews, and more explainers. So first of all, what exactly is a bridgehead? US military doctrine defines a bridgehead as an area on the enemy's side of the water obstacle that is large enough to accommodate the majority of the crossing force, has adequate terrain to permit defense of the crossing sites, provides security to crossing forces from enemy direct fire, and provides a base for continuing the attack. As reported by Kyiv Post several weeks ago, since October 14th, Ukrainian Marines have been crossing the Dnipro about 10 kilometers upstream from the city of Kherson in small speedboats. They took with them all the equipment needed to grab terrain and hold it: extra ammunition, food, fuel, generators, communications equipment, anti-tank missiles and rockets. It seems like the first parties were small groups of a dozen or two men, but Russian resistance was reportedly light to non-existent, and more Ukrainian Marines followed. About a week later, another party of Marines crossed the river another 40 kilometers upstream. Using swarms of drones, they headed deeper into Russian territory to look for targets. Russian military observer Michael Naki told AFP that Ukraine's overall task on the left bank is to launch an offensive operation there in order to go into Crimea. Ukraine faces one significant problem in particular: supplying troops on the bridgehead with enough equipment to advance further and take more territory. To do this, they will need to establish pontoon bridges, but this will be vulnerable to Russian airstrikes. At the moment, the Russian tactic appears to be to try and contain the bridgehead and bombard it from afar, in order to stop a further buildup of Ukrainian troops. For Ukraine, this is already a success of sorts. It is diverting Russian resources away from other areas of fighting, but much more work is required to turn it into a major success. It's also reduced Russia's ability to launch mortars at the city of Kherson, something which has terrorized civilians since it was liberated last year. The Ukrainian General Staff has stated this one of the main objectives of the operation. But Ukraine will need to deploy thousands of men and heavy vehicles on the left bank if it is to open a direct route to Crimea. Were it to be successful, an advance like that would be a major victory for Ukraine. Were the Ukrainian military to gain the ability to bombard all of Crimea, Russia's ability to hold it would be compromised. It would potentially force Russia into either negotiations or escalation. If the Ukrainians manage to gain air superiority with their air defense missiles, this might mean they can advance on open farmland where the Ukrainian army could move quickly. But were the Ukrainians to fail to gain air superiority, then Ukrainian armored vehicles would risk being attacked by Russian bombers and helicopters. Naki said that Kyiv's immediate task was to sever Russian supply routes. It is possible to do this. They are constantly expanding their bridgehead, he said. So right now, there is an arms race of sorts in progress, with both sides racing to dig in, concentrate drones, and inflict losses sufficient to keep the other side from taking the initiative later on. A great deal depends on which side can gain superiority in small drones and operators, and who can control the skies above the bridgehead. Equally important is which side can deliver more artillery ammunition to the fight. What is very clear at this point is that decisions made 18 months ago about the speed with which the West was going to arm Ukraine are the main brake on the Ukrainian bridgeheads right now. Had the US and its allies decided in May 2022 to commit to supporting Ukraine the way they're doing now, then every single tool the Ukrainians need to break out of the bridgehead would already be in their hands. So for now, that's it. We'll keep you updated on further developments, so don't forget to subscribe to our channel, click notification bell, and leave us a comment. And I'll see you soon.